Hi, this is Dan Danford. We're doing a series of podcasts for DadsDivorce.com called Money Made Easy. Usually take a question from a viewer and I try to answer it hopefully in simple layman's terms so that it's not too complicated. Today's question is about debt consolidation. Can you explain debt consolidation services and how it works? I'm leery of all those ads I'm seeing about debt relief because they all sound too good to be true. Your leeriness is warranted. Good question. Basically, debt consolidation means that you're going to take several high-cost loans that you have and you're going to kind of fold them into one lower-cost loan. And we've got kind of a nice little chart that shows you, and you'll be able to take a look as I talk through it. But we did an example where you basically have 3 different credit cards, each with a balance of $5,000, and each of those credit cards is charging you an annual rate of about 28%, which is very high. And if you follow that through, each month you're going to have 3 payments. Your principal outstanding is $15,000. That's 3 times $5,000. And your interest to pay those off will be $5,400. Okay, and it'll take you 28 months to do that. All told, if you do it just paying monthly payments all the way along, it will cost you $20,441. Okay, now as an alternative, you could replace all 3 of those cards with a single debt consolidation loan. That rate would probably be 12% interest or somewhere in that neighborhood. Your monthly payment, the same as it was with the others, you just have one payment of $750. And instead of 28 months, it'll take you 23 months to pay that off. Total principal, just like the other, $15,000, but your interest is $1,800 instead of $5,400, and overall it will have cost you $16,820 instead of $20,441.74. So you can see if you replace the 3 cards with one loan, it will save you several $1,000s. In this example, it saves you over $3,000 to consolidate those like that. Now, why should you be leery? Well, a couple of things. Number one is debt consolidation, though the numbers make a lot of sense here. It's going to do you no good at all unless you quit charging things. Okay, that's one of the rules they don't talk to you about very much. People over the years have consolidated their debt, and then what they do is they go out and fill their cards up with charges again. If that's the pattern you're going to have, then all the debt consolidation is going to do for you, it's going to allow you to build up more debt. That's a really, really bad thing. So if you're going to do the debt consolidation, you need to make a real strong promise to yourself that you're going to use this as a way to pay down your debt and get out of debt so that you don't have this problem again in the future. Okay, so that's the first step. Now, if you decide you're going to do that, a couple of things to look at. Number one is shop around a little bit. There are a lot of companies that offer these debt consolidation loans, and it's not always a good deal. Okay, people who are desperate financially make very easy marks for people who aren't that reputable. You know, just because they're in despair, they're willing to jump at things that maybe don't make good sense. So you need to shop around a little bit. You need to find companies that are reputable, who really do take care of people. Better yet, you know, go to a bank or a credit union or a savings and loan, a company that does this, and see if they'll work with you. Now, oftentimes they will work with you if you've got decent credit. If your credit's not good, you may be stuck going to one of these other companies, these finance companies. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, but check around a little bit before you do. Make sure that whoever you deal with doesn't have a lot of real high-cost fees involved in doing it. That can be off-putting, because if you, in order to do it, if you incur a couple $1,000s of fees, then you're not really better off than you are paying on the 3 credit cards. The other thing is, if you make queries on the internet, and that's where a lot of people do this, you often, or you shouldn't have to give them any kind of of really personal account numbers type information. That's a real problem in terms of credit card fraud and those kinds of things. Most of them should allow you to put in your name, basic information, and maybe the balances on your cards and get a quote that way rather than following it through with a lot of detailed information, at least initially. I guess I'd say be really leery of anybody who contacts you in this regard. Instead, if you think that a debt consolidation loan makes sense, then you make the queries, you go out and get the information, you put together a package that makes sense for you. I'm always concerned when somebody approaches you, because that usually means that somebody is going to make great big commissions on whatever they sell you, and that is always a red flag for me. I guess this goes back to some of the other things we've talked about in the past, and that is, you know, you're better off if you use credit wisely in the first place, and if you do, you probably don't need a debt consolidation loan. If you haven't used debt that wisely and you're looking at a debt consolidation loan, I'm not saying don't do it. In fact, it may make perfect sense to do it, but only use it as a way of getting out of debt and as part of a plan to make better decisions in the future. If you do that, then it can make a lot of sense and it can help you pay those loans off as quickly as possible. That's it for another episode of Money Made Easy. We'll see you again next week. Thanks.